And again, you are looking live at the Donald Trump rally tonight in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Thus far, Mr. Trump has spent a good bit of time taking on Hillary Clinton. And speaking of that, that is what Mr. Trump has been doing off the stump and on video. Check out what he did with his latest Instagram video ad. Video showing footage of former President Bill Clinton sleeping during Hillary's speech at the Democrat convention. And of course, Mr. Trump had the term, everybody was tired of crooked Hillary's lies during her speech. Well, let's talk about the campaign. And to do so, we welcome in YouTube sensations and the hosts of The Viewer's View, Diamond and Silk. Ladies, it's always good that you take some time here for Newsmax Prime.
Thank you, and thank you for having us.
You bet. Now, over the weekend, Mrs. Clinton did an exclusive post-nomination interview with Chris Wallace, and during that interview on Fox News Sunday, she was asked about FBI Director James Comey's testimony and the FBI Director's contradiction of her story. Let's look and listen to her response, and then we'll get your reaction.
After a long investigation, FBI Director James Comey said none of those things that you told the American public were true.
Chris, that's not what I heard Director Comey say, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to, in my view, clarify. Director Comey said that my answers were truthful and what I've said is consistent with what I have told the American people. That there were decisions discussed and made to classify retroactively certain of the emails.
So, ladies, is Mrs. Clinton entitled to her own, quote, reality?
Well, no. She needs to face reality that she is a liar.
That's
She
right.
is a crook, and the American people should never let a crook off the hook. She's clearly lying, and it's time for the American people to wake up and see her for who she is. She's a liar.
And maybe she just need a hearing aid, because that's not what we heard.
Yes.
Well, that's most charitable, Silk. We should note for the record that even the left-leaning Washington Post was not exactly charitable to Secretary Clinton. They gave her 4 Pinocchios for that statement to Chris Wallace. There was another part of that interview on Fox News Sunday. Chris Wallace questioning Mrs. Clinton about Benghazi and the false narrative she offered during the funeral of the victims of that attack. Again, we'll watch and then gauge your reaction.
We've seen the heavy assault on our post in Benghazi that took the lives of those brave men. We've seen rage and violence directed at American embassies over an awful internet video that we had nothing to do with. No, that's not fair. If you go back and read everything that I said that day, I quoted people who talked about it being terrorism. I had already said it was terrorism. There was no doubt it was terrorism. I think there has been a confusion in the minds of some.
So, ladies, is Hillary trying to discredit the parents of those who died in Benghazi by saying that they, quote, may not recall?
She's disregarding those parents, which is so sad.
Yes.
You know, how does she expect to lead millions of people when she couldn't even keep 4 people safe?
That's right.
So she's a liar. She's not fit to lead this country. And you know what? It's time for her to go run her own house, not the White House.
That's right.
All right, let's go to the phones, ladies, at 1-877-Newsmax. That's 1-877-639-7629. And on the phone from Farmington Hills, Michigan, Thomas joins us. Hi, Thomas.
Hi, JD. I read, I think it was in Lee Strobel's apologetics book about the concept of mass hypnosis. So Hillary claims that it wasn't a video. Well, you know, the Benghazi families must have suffered from mass hypnosis because they all came up with the same story, right? That she claimed it was a video. The same way that Jesus apparently never claimed he rose from the dead. the disciples suffered from mass hypnosis, and Muhammad then never claimed infidels should be beheaded in the Quran. Muslim terrorists must suffer from mass hypnosis.
You know, you make some interesting points, Thomas, and I was thinking perhaps in a more pedestrian fashion about a movie from years ago that we've seen re-released, Star Wars, the first one, when Obi-Wan Kenobi just kind of does that mind game and people go along with him. Ladies, now Obi-Wan was a noble guy, but Hillary, there must be something what Thomas is saying. Mind control, mass hypnosis just by ignoring and politely sitting there and not getting angry, but just saying, no, they're mistaken. Here's the way it really went down. Is that going to work?
Well, no, it's not going to work.
No.
Now, I'm going to tell you who's probably going to help her. The left-wing media,
That's
Clinton
right.
Cash networks, those people will help her
Right.
keep the facade up. But it's time for the American people to wake up. This lady is clearly a liar. She
Yes.
will say anything she has to say to get off the hook. And again, we can never let a crook off the hook.
That's right. And we've already been bamboozled and hoodwinked long enough. She won't get us this time.
That's right.
Well, it is interesting. You mentioned the press, and of course, as we point out from time to time, we're not the media, we're Newsmax TV. But it's interesting what Democrat polling expert Pat Caddell says. He claims that Reuters, the news service, is guilty now of cooking poll results in Mrs. Clinton's favor. Let's listen to Pat Caddell.
Frankly, it was not tweaking, as they said, it was cooking the poll. And I'm a little tired of what's happening in the media, including using every instrument they can to try to put their thumb on the election.
So we have this situation again where even when it comes to a poll sponsored by a news service, as pollster Pat Caddell says, quote, they're putting their thumb on the scales. Is there nothing the dominant media culture won't do to get Hillary elected?
They will stoop to any level to get her elected because she's unelectable. That's why they're doing that. And see, the reason why they're doing everything they can to bash Donald Trump is because they only stop winners. They don't stop losers.
That's right.
He's winning. Now, how all of a sudden he was winning and now all of a sudden the polls have changed? We beg to differ. Those polls are designed to trick your mind while they rape you from behind.
That's right.
We are not falling for the okie doke. Our man will continue to win, and he is going to win this election.
And he's going to be the next president of the United States. So everybody that don't like him need to build a bridge and get over it.
And they need to get used to calling him President Trump.
That's right.
All right. Well, ladies, we're going to call on another caller. And she's way out west in Yorba Linda, California. It's Rita who joins us now. Rita, welcome to Newsmax Prime.
Well, thank you. I enjoy your show. I'm just calling in response to Donald Trump. When he, I get nervous.
Oh, it's okay. We're all friends
always,
here, Rita. Take your time.
He's addressing the radical Islam. And yes, for the safety of America and everybody who is living here in America, he wants to make sure that those who come over into the country, are not terrorists. So that soldier that died, I think he was caught off guard, and but anyway, he is one in a million that came here. I mean, that loved America and went and fought for our country, his country, America. Not many Muslims have.
Rita, we appreciate
that soldier had.
We appreciate your comments tonight from Yorba Linda. And you hear Rita right there saying the most important job is to protect the American people against radical Islamic terror. Now, ladies, we're monitoring Mr. Trump's rally in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, but earlier today in Ohio, Mr. Trump was on the stump where he said he thinks the election will be rigged against him. Listen.
I had 17 people. I wasn't running against 2 people. I had 17 people. Hillary Clinton, I got a similar number to Hillary Clinton, and she had Bernie, and she had a hard time putting Bernie away. And Bernie, poor Bernie, he looked so upset. You know what? He made a mistake. He shouldn't have made a deal. Sometimes he lost. First of all, it was rigged. And I'm afraid the election's going to be rigged.
Well, and you guys know all about North Carolina. We had Jay Delancey on earlier, getting rid of the North Carolina voter ID laws. Could that be the first step in trying to rig North Carolina for the Democrats? 20 seconds.
Well, absolutely, because now you have illegal immigrants that can now vote in our voting system. Anybody can vote.
That's right.
I think that to take and tell people that they don't have to show an ID, what you're doing is you're enabling minorities not to be responsible.
That's right.
And that's so sad here. But you know what? We're going to do everything we can to get our man elected. He is going to be the 45th president of the United States.
And if you have to have an ID to get alcohol, you should have to have an ID to vote.
That's right.
Ladies, we appreciate it. Diamond and Silk, always outspoken and entertaining. Our thanks to you both. Coming up next, Kristen Wright on continued persecution in the Middle East. Stay with us.